Hello and welcome everyone to another episode. Yes, so this is going to be my first launch where I actually I speed up the launch. Now, some of you have been wondering what MMB is, and I got one comment, or if you guys have been wondering, yeah. So I am going to start scrolling up here a little bit. Yeah, pretty big rocket so far, right? And oh, whoa, yeah, you can see some, yeah, just forget about that. Yeah, and here's the main, basically all of this, except for this little part here, is going to be, for actually being in space and in orbit. All the rest of the stuff is just getting into orbit. Like, basically from here, in this, and these decouplers, all of this will be gone. A lot of stuff to get it into space. So I think I should show off what I've created. Yes, I put a big G on it, I wonder what that stands for. Yeah, so this is the Mun Mobile Base. I came up with this, kind of out of the blue a little bit. I didn't really, I would say it's complete in the state it's in, so far. It really, there wasn't very much more I could add to it, and I really tried to add as much as I possibly can. 6 wheels, it has all the science stuff on it here, and it has 8 solar panels on it. Now, I know that the solar panels themselves really aren't, useful in a sense that, having that many, it really isn't, worth it or whatever, but, basically this thing is just going to be, this is all going to cover, the top here, so it will be like a little mobile house, kind of, so to speak. And, this will be the cockpit to drive it around. All the batteries and all that good stuff are up here. You got all these little storage pods here. Well, I shouldn't say storage pods, they're RCS tanks and stuff like that. I was just trying to figure out places to put some of these things on here. Now, it also has batteries. The batteries are right here, for, storage, battery storage and all that good stuff. It will be able to hold, what is it? Was it 24 Kerbals? Something like that? 4 times 6? Yes. And underneath, on the bottom, is, it's basically a smaller rover that they can use, go, wherever, do whatever, while the base is actually parked. So, overall, this thing was somewhat hard to design, and it still gives me problems on takeoff. That's why I'm going to be speeding up the takeoff and probably most of getting into orbit as well. It really just, it has a tendency to fall apart once these tanks are gone, and once these solid rocket boosters are gone. The structure itself, sometimes what ends up happening is the middle portion here, this main tank in the middle, has a tendency just to fall off. So, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I've gotten into orbit successfully with this thing once. The other times, it was like almost into orbit and then something bad happens. So, I might end up having to shoot this a couple times before we actually get it into orbit. But I'm almost expecting, because I kind of have an idea now how to get it out of the atmosphere and everything else. So, anyways, let's put this thing on the pad. But yeah, overall, this design has worked somewhat well. It's just a matter of trial and error. I probably had to launch this thing 30 plus times in order to get it exactly perfect. So, overall, it's a good design. It's good, but, it's always like with a new rocket, you always have to, just kind of figure out exactly what parts are needed and what you need to do in order to get this thing off the ground. But anyways, guys, yeah, I will see you once we get into orbit. And we've reached an orbit, guys. Yeah, so this is my third launch, and just to show you guys, you know, that there was problems and it wasn't just a flawless takeoff. What ends up happening, if you guys didn't notice on the takeoff, you'll see that there was an RCS tank here, and the RCS tank and the whole rest of that stack actually broke completely off. Now, that happens, and that's the one problem that I can't seem to fix. No matter how many struts I slap onto this thing, it won't hold. I just can't get it to do what I want it to do. But overall, this thing pretty much is good. I am okay with the fact that I lost that RCS tank. You see, I still have my SAS unit, because that usually would break off too. So, the fact that the SAS unit is still on there, I'm pretty much okay with. If you look, the RCS, it's got 800 RCS on it, just built on. So, I'm okay with this. Now, what you're probably asking now is, why, or how much fuel did you bring, and how are you planning on getting it there? Well, the number one thing I guess I should mention is that, is that the sunrise? I don't know. Well, no, so my main thing with this is that, wow, I'm trying to just like line it up. I'm going to end up putting it into orbit around the moon, and we will be refueling it before it lands. Just like the Minmus lander, or not the Minmus lander, but the Minmus escape system, or whatever you want to call it, that thing, definitely, we just got to get some fuel into it. So it's just going to be a process of getting it there, getting the fuel in. Now, alright, let's see. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Now, what we have here... Oh my god, I just switched craft. Totally didn't mean to do that. I don't even know what we're going to. Oh, the refueler I just launched. Hey there, refueler. I could refuel it over here, but it really wouldn't make any sense to do that. Mostly because we need the fuel to land. We don't really need the fuel to get there. That's the main thing, I guess. It's funny how much this thing just flipped around because I had it lined up with prograde, and it just completely flipped over, I guess, or something. I don't even know. But the burn to get it to the moon is going to take a little bit of time, but I figure I might as well talk to you guys a little bit before we get to the moon. Alright, there we go. That is looking good, I think. Actually, I think over here, we gotta do a little bit more. 179, I don't really like that. Whoa. Oh god, this node really needs to be. I think there's just too much. Yeah, that was definitely what I was yeah. I don't know why I keep on turning on RCS too, because I can pretty much turn this thing without using RCS. But yeah, this thing is just going to be right on the moon. Multi-person rover lander. It's a rover with a rover. It's like Inception for rovers. So, alright, let's get this around. We'll start a burn, and I'm going to talk a little bit, because, apparently I didn't know about these things, or at least this is what speculation is. I don't know. Basically, I was told that once they do the new update, which is coming out very soon, woot, the update itself is going to basically delete the save files. So, because they're basically changing like a large portion of the game, kind of like they did when they got rid of, you know, like the SAS unit, the old one, the old command pod, and all that old stuff that they just basically trashed and got rid of. Basically, it's going to be the same thing all over again. And, you know, we're going to be losing everything in order, you know, we're losing everything at the sake of having a better game at the end of the day. Which I'm okay with, but the main problem I'm not very okay with is the fact that basically, you know, all the stuff in my videos, everything that I've ever created is going to be gone. And, you know, like, once again, I'm okay with that. It's just, I feel like I should do some kind of tribute video or, you know, something along those lines where, you know, we kind of just show, I'll kind of just show off all the stuff I've built, you know, ever since I started in the past 7 months now of playing this game, and, well, at least recording playing this game, and I really think, you know, I should do something like that, at least before everything's gone. It's gonna kind of suck to lose everything. Let's see how much frame rate. I guess my frame rate just permanently stuck at like 10. I don't know. Maybe once we get rid of this part. But, you know, I was thinking of doing some kind of tribute, sort of, kind of video, something like that. I don't really like doing those because a lot of people do them, and a good portion of them are really, really insanely cheesy. So, I'm not really too sure on how I would go about doing it, is just getting it done. I feel like it would be a good thing to do for this channel, not to mention just to have something to look back on as far as like what I've accomplished and what I've done. It does kind of suck if I will be losing everything though, but if I'm not, then even better. I'll be able to keep on going, and you know, I'll have a whole solar system of crap to work with. You know, it's just intense amounts of things. So I got, you know, a whole fuel system, a whole fuel network, I should say, that's, I would say, relatively close to being complete. I would say the one thing I think would be beneficial, and I think what I'm going to end up doing if everything gets deleted, is I will be creating sort of the same thing that I've done before, only I'm gonna do a few little different things. I will probably have the Moon Fuel Depot that I have. I will probably be recreating that, definitely. And I'm also going to put one in orbit around Kerbin and Minmus. The same exact cookie cutter design, getting all three of them completely stocked with fuel, and launching a tanker like I did before, and getting at least 3 or 4 refuelers just out there floating around. I think that would be even better. One of the main things too would be having like a refueler or even a fuel depot. I don't even think it would be possible to have a fuel depot someplace out in orbit past Minmus. You know, having it sit out here and somewhere in between Minmus and this zone here, because this is basically the furthest point you can get out. So that would work out in my favor a lot. And I would be able to launch interplanetary missions off of that thing and probably be able to go anywhere. You know, because if you look at just something like this, we're just in orbit around Kerbin and we're going to the moon. I've already burned away way more than half the fuel tank. You know, I think it's like 1/3 right now. So to have something like that would really just be unbelievably amazing. And to have a fuel grid, fuel network set up, at least for now. The one thing I'm really just a little bit hesitant on as far as doing it is the fact that if it gets deleted again when they change the game at some other unknown point, that would kind of suck. It's just, I remember the first time they updated and I was really scared that they were going to remove the Kerbal Space Station. But, you know, that was at the time when putting the amount of work I put into that thing. Like, Kerbal Space Station took me, I think, somewhere roughly in the lines of about a month to create in the beginning. And that was just because I sucked at the game at that time, and I didn't understand any of the physics involved in the game. I didn't really know how to dock that well. I didn't even know how to pee yet, guys. I just didn't even know how to pee. So, it all works out. But, you know, the Minmus, this moon, thing, yeah, the Mun Mobile Base, that's MMB, Mun Mobile Base, that's basically what it stands for. I didn't want to show off, mostly because of the fact that I didn't even perfect it really at that time, which, I mean, obviously the video was only from a day or two ago. Actually, it was from 2 days ago, 3 days ago, something like that. At that time, I was still working on it, and I've had to work on it for like the past like 4 or 5, or well, you know, 3 or 4 days, whatever. I was gonna say 4 or 5, but I have been working on it for about a week, roughly. But I finally perfected it, sort of, if you want to call it that. You know, as long as it falls apart the right way, I'm okay with this. No, it took a little while to make sure that this thing would work correctly and I could get all the little bugs ironed out. So far, I mean, really, the only other problem I'm having with this thing is that it isn't 100% stable in flight. And I tried to use as much symmetry as possible. And I also had to line it up, like, to get this rocket attachment and everything else underneath to figure out how that's gonna work. I had to use just like a lot of the symmetry tools, the center of mass and stuff like that to figure out, okay, well, if the center of mass of this vehicle is right here, then I have to, you know, put all the main rocket parts underneath it, like right here, and everything else, and it was just a big mess. And you'll see, like, when I turn off SAS, it kind of wants to veer off to one direction, and I just gotta constantly correct it. But I will say, I mean, getting to the moon after it's you know, after everything has been done, you know, after all the launch and everything, the launch is the scariest part, because I don't even know if it will be able to make it. You know, it's like half the time it won't make it, or, you know, whatever, but once it's in orbit, that's pretty much like I'm golden after that. I'm like, alright, everything's good. That's like my #1 main thing, is like getting it into orbit. Everything else is just, you know, it's Monday detail. But, you know, overall, I mean, I do know that it has a large amount of panels. It doesn't need all those panels on it and all that other good stuff. You don't need to yell and scream. I am here merely for your pure entertainment. But, you know, you guys let me know how much you like this thing, if you think it's pretty cool or whatever. You know, it doesn't have fuel storage on it before. I know oh god, stop. There we go. I know a lot of my other designs where I'll say like, oh yeah, it's got more fuel storage than this, or, you know, it's got all kinds of stuff. What is Apollo 11 doing here? I wonder what that is. I think that might have been the command module, or it can't be the command module because I've already landed them on the surface, so, or I mean on Kerbin, so I don't know what that is. Now, let's see. I'm gonna go to the fuel depot and see if I have anything docked up. I don't think I do. The one thing I'm going to have to launch if I don't, otherwise I'm going to have to bring it here somehow, is I'm going to need a part to retrofit it, basically, because on the on the Mun whatever base, the Mun Mobile Base, it does not have a large docking port. It only has access for a small docking port, which I'll switch to it right now just to show you that. I might end up cutting here, and then, you know, once I get all this stuff set up, I'll cut back. But basically, this is the only part right here that I can dock up to. I didn't put any other docking ports on it because I didn't really have the room to throw any other docking ports on here anywhere. You know, it really, just designing this thing enough was like hard, you know, just doing that. So we only got the front and the back to work with, and I do have one. I just have to go and basically get it. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem. But yeah, so anyways, guys, I'm going to cut here, and I'll see you once I get all that stuff put together and we get a refueler all the way to this thing, because it's going to take a little while for that. So I will see ya. And we are back, guys. Yeah, so I decided I wasn't going to just cut out everything and just leave it all, you know, open and all that other good stuff. I figured I might as well come in halfway through or whatever, just to show some progress of what's going on. Yeah, so you can see I just went to Ion Station Alpha. Now, the reason I went here is because I ended up launching something and sending it here, and I need that piece. Now, this is one thing I think I found out now that I am going to need on every fuel depot and all that other good stuff. My frame rate is a little choppy right now because of the fact that basically this freaking space station or whatever is just too massive. There's so much to it. I don't even know, it's like a few hundred tanks. I don't even honestly know. I just know there's like 100,000 fuel in here. So I'm just going to turn on the SAS and just kind of leave it here. Time warp, that way we can get rid of all the other crap of movements and all the other good stuff. Where's our, okay, there's our target craft. How much SAS do we have, or RCS? Yeah, or we're good. So this thing is going to be coming with me. I'm going to take it from this space station, and I'm going to bring it to the moon station, is if I can decouple it. Come on. There we go. These little things, I do say, we will be bringing more of these with us. It is just only a matter of time, you know. I really should have launched more of these, and I don't know what I was thinking when I didn't do it in the first place. They're just helpful all around, and I just don't know why I was like, okay, well, I just won't have any of these on any other station. Alright, RCS is on. RCS? Oh, these are all shut off. That's no bueno. Turn these on real quickly. Now the matter of the problem is trying to dock this thing up. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to dock this thing. It is like really insanely maneuverable, so let's just see what we can get here. It's really going to be, I think this one is going to be a little bit of a hit or miss kind of docking. I don't need RCS to maneuver this thing, and I think this should be good. Now, I'm gonna have to flip around as soon as I get close. Whoa, there we go. But you can see this thing is just insanely maneuverable. I'm liking how this works. It's just, you know, holy crap, is all I can say. Wow. Alright, come down. Alright, this thing is going to be fun to dock. This is going to be a very long episode, and I know some of you guys out there like my longer episodes, which I'm okay with that. You know, I don't like to... My main thing when I shoot episodes is I want something to be quick, at least quick to a point. You know, if I can get it to be under 30 minutes, that's generally what I aim for. Because I don't really like to shoot stuff where, you know, I'm going to keep you guys for an insanely long time. Only because even I myself get a little bit annoyed with very insanely long videos. There's only so long I can watch. Even with, you know, certain people's videos, I just can't really, you know, I don't enjoy watching them because they're so long sometimes. It just really depends. So, I'm going to get this really close here, as close as I can, and then I'm going to flip around and see if I can get... Holy crap. Alright, let's flip this thing around. I don't need RCS to do that. And then we gotta use this as our docking. Oh god, this is not going to go well. I can already smell the problems coming my way. I don't know why, but it looks like the refueler is also moving as well. I don't know what's going on here. Hopefully it will be a nice clean docking though, where I don't have to back off or anything like that. Oh yeah, definitely. Turn off SAS. Oh my god. Yeah, hopefully they fix stuff like this. Oh my god. Turn it off. So, okay. Well, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to disable all these, so just give me a second. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Now, I'm going to end up cutting here again, and, you know, getting to the moon and all that good stuff shouldn't be too hard. I'll set the moon as a target, and let's see what we can get here. Bring it down a little bit. and we'll see where we can meet up with the moon here. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Oh, yeah, if, you know, I bring it down a little bit more, then maybe I'll meet up with the moon. There we go. Here we go. That looks pretty good to me. I don't know. Let's see. I don't like that because it looks like we're on like an impact course with the moon or something. So, is this 500 off? Isn't bad. So I think I'll stick with that. I'm not going to get overly technical and crazy with all that. But, yeah, so I will see you once we are in orbit around the moon. And we got a connection, guys. Yeah. Wow. That, I had a few little failures there, if anyone was watching all of that, but my god. Wow. That was a little intense. Definitely didn't expect that to happen, but overall, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, this is running on a lot longer than I expected. Definitely pretty awesome, though, I do have to admit. You can see I'm going to refuel this thing completely. If I lose some fuel, whatever. I'm not a, I would rather land. I'd rather be safe than sorry, as they say. Just gonna undock. I'm not gonna transfer out any RCS just because I think I only burned like 1 unit of RCS on this entire thing. Yeah, 3. I am not losing sleep over that. So, let's see. I'm just gonna back this thing away, ever so nicely, and just kind of get this thing out of the perspective, at least for now. I'm just gonna burn away using RCS a little bit, just to get it away. That's kind of basically all I want to do. Put a bunch of speed on this thing, just so they'll separate and it's unloaded, because you guys can tell, I can definitely see it, that the frame rate has taken a big poop, like it normally does with, my game. I don't know what it is, but it seems like everyone else can build these ultra massive nice things and somehow never have any issues with frame rate. But for me, definitely am having issues with frame rate. So let's just do a couple of these. Alright, that thing is long gone. We shall see you later, refuel mission. We're going to do 1 orbit around, might as well, and that will separate them enough, hopefully. So the frame rate should improve just a little bit, and I think we should land in this crater right here. So let's start our initial burn. Now, the one thing I didn't mention. Yeah, they're far enough apart. There's something shiny over there. That looks like Minmus. Oh my god, go away. There we go. Yeah. So let's... I don't need RCS. Why do I keep doing that? We have a full tank of fuel. It should be way more than enough than what we actually need to land. But I think we're going to land inside of this nice big crater here. We just gotta slow down as quick as we can here. What is this? Oh, that's refuel mission. I'm always asking myself, like, what is this? What is this? What is that? But, back to, what issue I'm going to be having. Now, you can see there's an SAS unit here. And that happens to be decoupled when we land. So, guess what? I gotta land with no ASAS units in any kind of way. I'm gonna put the gear down. There is gear on this, though. I should show that. Actually, no, I shouldn't put the gear down, because that will, I think, screw up our yeah. I'm not even gonna put the gear down. Screw that. Wow. But, you know what, I'll land on the wheels. I don't think it will cause too much of a problem. If it does, we have a Kerbal on board that can fix wheels. So, he'll, Mr. Goodyear will be at his service, or, yeah, whatever. We're gonna land this thing in the crater, though. I do think it will be a sufficient landing site. We'll be able to drive around and do all kinds of fun stuff in the crater. Now, as far as escaping the crater, I don't know if this thing will actually have the torque, to really pull itself out of the crater and all that other good stuff. Hopefully it does. I'm not too sure on, everything else as far as how this thing is going to land, what is going to happen, and all that other good stuff. We will see when we land. I did land one of these before, And when I say land it, it's pretty loose term because I did use whatever that thing is called, RCS. Wow. Alright, I'm going to slow down here for a second because we're getting offside. I want to get more into the middle of this crater and less, you know, like freaking off to the side or whatever. So let's just kind of rock this thing up a little bit. And let's see if we can get more aimed towards the center. Alright. Yeah, you can see this thing is just a little unstable. Just a little bit. I mean, it does have a tendency to pull down. Well, yeah, I guess pull down, I should say. It's not 100% perfect. I mean, I don't need it to be that, like, overly engineered where it's like 100% perfect, because landing it isn't going to be so much of an issue, I think. So, I'm going to quick save, quickly, and let's get this thing a little bit lower. I hate using time warp sometimes while landing because it freaks out. It has a tendency to freak out. So let's point up. Don't need RCS. Don't need SAS. Why? Oh my god. There we go. So we're going way too fast. And this is a little crater. It's not that bad. This is actually a weird looking crater. Normally all the craters I land in are pretty much uneventful and boring, so this one should be kind of fun, at least a little bit. Let's see, is this gonna push us out a little bit more, because I'm trying to push us out a little bit. This should start pushing this way, which is what I'm kind of planning for. That way we can kind of land more towards the center of, I think this might be like a little hill or a mountain right here. It's a lighter part of the soil you can see on the map here. It looks like it is pushing it out a little bit, so that's good. But you'll see my next stage in you know, planned is all the landing gear, and then once the landing gear, oh, I shouldn't say the landing gear, but the landing stage, you know, the separate engines. Once we get close enough, and I feel it's going to be safe enough to where we can decouple all this crap, you know, I will decouple this big stage here with the nuclear engines, and then we will start with our landing stage. So I'm just trying to slow down right now because we are getting pretty freaking close. And I'm going to start bringing it down more towards a vertical landing instead of, you know, off to the side like we are right now. So, start canceling out all this movement. And start pushing that thing back up towards the top again. We might end up just not even decoupling, well, I mean, we will be decoupling the stage. That looks freaking awesome too, by the way. We might end up just keeping the stage for a while, because honestly I don't see us slowing down very quickly, so I don't know what we're going to do yet. You know, it's like I haven't landed anything like this before, so I don't really know the procedure, so to speak, what we're going to be doing. But so far it's looking pretty good. That's all I can say. Looking a lot better than it should. There we go. Alright, we got it. More of a vertical landing, more towards the center of this crater here. That's looking good. Alright, there we go. Should be more of a vertical descent now. Just bring this over. Now this thing just drops. If you guys look how fast it's falling, it literally just comes down like a freaking comet, like a meteor, just showering down on the surface of millions of parts on the surface. Yes. Alright, we're gonna fire these engines back up again. I am not okay with how fast it's moving. You know, I really am happy that I did put all the fuel in it as much as I could, because I wasn't really very happy with my first landing. I ended up using, you know, whatever, the Alt F12, and I like just put unlimited fuel on, and you don't really get to gauge how much fuel you're actually using, you know, how fast you're actually going, and your overall weight changes as you're landing, so you don't know if, okay, yeah, if I'm landing at X, Y, and Z, you know, how much fuel I have, and how much speed will I need, and everything else. So I'm just going to use this stage, though, to bring us down as much as possible, and then afterwards we'll make our corrections. So we are getting pretty close now, which is good. The moon surface, for those of you who have never landed in anything on the moon, it might say I'm 4,000 off the surface right now. Like, that's what it will say. You're really not that far off the surface. You're probably 2,000 off the surface. Just for reference, for those of you who have never landed on the moon before, or whatever, you're never actually, you know, there's no actual spot on the moon, I don't think, where there's like an absolute zero for landing. I don't think that even exists. So let's see, how is everything doing though, by the way? Alright, I mean, we're looking good. Hey, it's overall, this is looking pretty good. Alright, no RCS, we don't need that. I'm trying to put this in the center. I thank God for these nuclear engines, that's all I can say, because these things are really helping out right now. The fact that, like, I'm barely burning fuel right now just to land really is helping out. It's really helping, you know, the fact that they don't really use a lot of fuel, and I'm not gaining any speed because I'm keeping these things burning, and the fact that they last so long, in the efficiency is just amazing. It looks like we're getting close, but I'm going to wait until our shadow appears, and then I'm going to decouple this stage. I don't trust this landing stage to do very much, put it that way. It's just a very, you know, the amount of fuel in that stage is, you know, I could burn through that with these 3 engines real quickly. So the only thing I'm worried about is I don't want to end up landing on top of the stage here. That just wouldn't be a good thing. But I'm going to have to kill these engines and all that other stuff too. I'm going to start speeding up a little bit because I think we are getting very close now. I'm just waiting for that shadow to appear. You're going to see like a big box below us. Oh god, slow down. It would have been nice if I could redesign this landing stage for, you know, and land with nuclear engines. That would probably make it a lot easier. Alright, bring this more towards the center. Alright, come on, come on, come on. Whoa. There we go. That is looking a little bit better than what it was. I'm going to end up slowing down a lot, though, right before we actually come in for our landing with the Rockomax stage. I call it Rockomax stage because that's pretty much what they're little Rockomax engines. Alright, I'm going to bring it down to like 1. Alright, now time to get rid of that stage. And now we're on my control, basically. And this is not going to be fun. What's a little bit of nuclear radiation on the moon anyways? Who cares about that? Alright, it looks like we're going to be rolling while we land, which isn't going to be a bad thing as long as we can land. Oh god. There we go! We have touched down on the surface. Amazing. Now, time to slow down. Oh god. Yeah, sometimes... Alright, turn off chase cam. Free cam, I guess. What is going on here? Turn on the brakes. Brake. Oh, there we go. I think it's... Oh, God. Oh, God. Wow. Wow. Alright, I'm gonna slow this thing down. Just get it stopped. We will be... I'm just gonna quick save again. I can't believe I got this on the ground. This is amazing. Oh, and there's all the engines over there. Wow. Now it's time to decouple these. There we go. No more engines. And then we just gotta pull forward and kind of push them out of the way there. Yeah, that works. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. So, alright, I'm gonna speed up here. Just get away from all this crap. But yes, it has 6 wheels. And I guess I could show off the landing gear now that we're on the ground. But basically what these will do, they're kind of like, you know, a separate set of brakes. They do sit close enough to the ground where they actually touch the ground. So that works out a little bit in the favor for that. Oh, these have sunlight exposure. That's pretty awesome. So anyways, we should go inside here. We have, you know, our little... This is like the main hull here. It is open to space and everything. I did put these little... I put the... whatchamacallit, the science instruments on it. So they can do a little bit of science while they're on the moon. Now it is 0. The temperature value is all zeros across the board. We have... How much fuel? Alright, yeah, everything's looking good. Wow. I didn't expect this to actually... I'll extend the ladder down. Now this ladder does... I don't think it will reach the ground, but I made it just long enough to where, you know, they can at least try to jump and reach it, I guess. And on the inside here, I should show as well, I did put a ladder here, which it looks freaking awesome when it comes down. So, you know... Mr. Airy, Elry can, you know, go on his EVA. And, you know, like, his head is, like, just right next to those panels. It's freaking hilarious. But, oh yeah, there's headlights on it, too. I should have mentioned that. You know, it's got a pretty good range on those headlights. But everything in this thing is just... working flawlessly. I did do a lot of testing on it, so I'm not surprised, but at the same time, this game always does seem to surprise me with certain things. You know, he's got his little base here. This is a mobile base. This is exactly what I would picture a mobile base would look like in this game. So, you know, we got a little walkway here. Oh my god, don't fall down, idiot. Get close, there we go, and come down. And this is the coolest part, at least I think so. You know, he's pretty short, you know, compared to everything else. Everything's like massive. So that's one thing I never understood, the aspect in this game, like the, I guess, the ratios on the sizes of the Kerbals compared to other things. Here, it really is just kind of silly. So, alright, oh, whoa. Oh, oh, cut, oh, no, no, grab, go, there we go. Get in there. Now this is the one thing that is untested, and I really don't know if it's going to work properly, but we'll see what happens. Okay, oh god. He's gonna roll away. No, he's not. Alright, so, let's just say we go out and do an EVA, whatever. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna have to extend these too. I think these are the square panels. I hope they are. Otherwise, that's gonna suck. Yes, they are. Now, say he goes out on his EVA and all that other good stuff, and he's been traveling around the surface of the moon, and he wants, you know, this thing will get left behind, and you won't want to do that. So, what you want to do... turn on the brakes first. Yeah, brakes, please stay on. So you would park underneath here, turn on his RCS, and thrust forward. Oh god. Yeah, thrust until you can make it in there. Come on. There we go. Come on. Come on. There we go. And then he can reconnect it back up again. And, you know, get back out. And move on with his little merry way of going and doing whatever it is he wants to do. I know it's backwards on here too, and I didn't think that this was backwards. I just didn't look at my design. But that was the only real problem with this design, is just I totally didn't realize I did that when I initially, like, when I built it. So he is freaking happy right now too. I can tell, like, he's just like, oh my god. Yeah, I'm just gonna cheat my way, and I'm not gonna take the ladder just because I don't feel like walking all the way around. Come on, dude. Now, the surface isn't exactly... The walking on these things is really awkward for them, too. I noticed that, like, it really doesn't work out that well for them. So, let's get back in. This really wasn't that bad of a mission, to be honest. The one thing I will say, I definitely had a little bit of fun launching this thing and landing it. It was, it wasn't too awkward, to be honest. I kind of figured this really wasn't going to work out in the end, so the fact that I got it working was just amazing. You know, for whatever, you know, if you guys like this thing, you know, maybe before, oh god, yeah, gear up, please. Yeah, I forgot to put the gear up. They were scraping against the ground there a little bit. But this thing is pretty maneuverable. The only thing I will say is it can't just stop on a dime. Like if I slam on the brakes, it will slow down. But if I slam on the brakes and put it in reverse at the same time, it will start toppling and rolling all over the surface. So let's see if we landed near any Easter eggs or anything even remotely kind of awesome. It doesn't really look like... I can't really see much. You always gotta look for the shiny. I don't really see anything at all. You know, it's funny because, like, the first time I ever encountered an Easter egg in this game, I didn't even, like, mean to encounter an Easter egg. Like, I just ended up landing in a spot where an Easter egg happened to be. Whereas, you know, like, now I'm landing precisely in places and stuff like that, and I can't even find one freaking Easter egg in this game. But let's see. It doesn't look like there's anything over here. I kind of figured there might be something in the middle of this crater, or, you know, something like that. It would be really cool, even though I wouldn't drive this distance because it would just be insane. To bring this thing through, like, the mountains and all that other good stuff. But yeah, this is a really cool concept vehicle of mine. This was kind of in a direct relation to the Mun Bus that I built a while back, and I wanted to kind of top the Mun Bus, which I'm really hoping I did, to be honest, because if you guys don't like this, I will hate you. Just kidding, but yes. This mobile base, though, I mean, everything works out. It's all been very much tested, and I am very happy with the way it turned out. The only thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to slam on the brakes. Yeah, and these, you can see, it starts rocking forward, too. Especially, we're going downhill right now, as it is, so rocking forward definitely isn't that great of a thing. Alright, and I just want to go into nighttime here on the moon. I know I won't be able to charge my panels and all, or charge my thing, but, you know, this is what you would get if you were driving on the moon at night. This is your distance, I guess, if you want to call it that. And let's get to moving. So, alright. turn off the time warp here. Yeah, this thing is really gonna go through its battery very quickly. I don't even think this thing has like a speedometer on it or anything like that. Yeah, it doesn't tell you anything about speed. But yeah, I think we are going uphill right now. We don't have like a, oh, we do have a nav ball. So this is the first time I've ever used this cockpit in any one of my designs as well. But you will see it is limited on its speed, you know, during the night. What is this? Software glitch. Update before flight. Don't forget. Yes. But, I mean, this is just awesome. One thing I will say, though, it looks like we're a lot closer to the ground than we actually are. But, what is that? Oh my god. Now we just need some aliens or something on the surface that are, you know, about to attack us. Whoa. Reminder, close the hatch. And don't forget the snacks. Yes, don't forget the snacks. There was one of them that says, like, snack compartment on there or something like that. I forgot where. In one of these things. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. It does tell us. We're going 10 meters a second. It's just we're going uphill right now, and there's something above us. I will say, though, this thing, the cockpit on it is just awesome. Even though, you know, we're driving around, like, driving at night has got to be the coolest thing. I wish the battery wouldn't die at night. I mean, I could have put the thermic gens on here or whatever and had, like, infinite electricity, but I'm not gonna... I feel like that would be kind of cheating. God, that is just freaking awesome looking. I just wish we could get to the top of the hill. I'd like to see how far these headlights will go out. Maybe we'll make it to the top. Maybe we won't. Let's see. Will we make it? We're climbing up some pretty big hills right now, so... maybe I'll just flip it around with what remaining electricity we have. That way the lights will at least shine downhill so we can get a scope on how far these headlights reach. God, that is just awesome. I can't get over how cool this is. And the fact that it actually works too. Just amazing. Whoa. Wow. I will say the dark side is pretty freaking dark, so not much we can do about that. So let's put these brakes on here. You can see it's starting to rock forward. I can't even slow down because it will topple. Alright, there we go. We lost some speed. It seems like once you get down to like 4 or 5, like, you know, 6 or 7 meters a second, whatever, then you don't really have as much problem as slowing down as before. So there we go. But let's get this thing on the light side. That's so awesome. And there you have it, guys. The Mobile Mun Base completion, landing, everything, all that good stuff. If you like what you see here, subscribe. There's always more to come. And yeah, I will see you next time.